You're listening to
It doesn't matter what you think.
the Sports Fellas Podcast.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Andres. We are back with episode number 51 of the Sports Fellas Podcast, and today, along with my co-host Eric, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. It's been kind of a long day. I had to rush home, but I'm ready for the draft. We'll see how it goes. I have a feeling it's not going to go how I want, but, positive vibes either way.
Yeah, draft day, Johnny Manziel. 5 years later, how am I the man still? You know the vibe.
Oh,
I got a very special guest today. Very special guest from the 5 Reasons Sports Network, covering the Miami Marlins. My boy Josean, manito, que lo que.
Estamos bien, man. Thank you for having me on. Thank you, man. It's been a long time coming. I'm happy to be here, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So today, this is a special episode because there's so much going on in baseball. And obviously, Eric and I, we love baseball, and we had to bring someone that literally covers the Miami Marlins to be on this podcast. So I'm very excited for this episode. It's been a long time coming. So, Manito, let's get started. What's been the most surprising thing for you so far in the National League? Let's go to the National League first, because there's a lot of good baseball being played in the National League, a lot of young talent, a lot of MVP candidates. What's the thing that's caught your eye the most?
I mean, I think it's the obvious elephant in the room, which is the Cincinnati Reds just being unbeatable. I mean, these dudes have won 11 in a row, and they were a team that everybody thought was going to be bottom of the NL Central. So definitely them being, at least we're about halfway through the season, them being first place in the NL Central is one of the craziest things. It's definitely one of the craziest stories.
What about player-wise? What do you think? What's caught your eye? You're like, wow.
I'm gonna keep it local, and I'm gonna say that Yuri Perez, being 20 years old, dominating in the major leagues. He has an ERA under 2 about after 8 career starts. He's our best pitcher by far, and it's extremely surprising having the reigning Cy Young on your team, and a 20-year-old is outperforming him by a mile. So.
The video of them meeting up at the airport, that was like very sweet, man. Like, it really brought me to tears. Like, every single time there's like a prospect video and someone's getting called up, I have to watch it. I show it to my dad. Like, they're so good, and they get creative and more creative every time. And I'm like, damn, man, I shed some tears.
Yeah, man. I mean, Sandy is a known mentor, especially to all the pitchers in the system. And Yuri, along with Eric Cabrera, since they're all Dominican, they all get along very
You
well.
can shout out to DR, bro. We know it. You can
DR,
shout out.
yes, sir. Come on, man. Yeah, but they're all super close. They all get along so well, and like you said, that video was just the start of what's hopefully a great career. So Yuri's definitely been amazing.
Eric, there's been so much going on in National League. You and I always text about it. About, like, I remember we were having a conversation about Acuna, Tatis, Soto, Vladdy, and now Vladdy fell off a cliff. No pun intended. Soto has been picking it up so far, but what's been the most surprising thing for you in the National League?
I'll go just with a different answer to keep it different, but I'll say the Diamondbacks leading that division, because I thought the easy answer before, like, I thought Dodgers would pretty easily win that division with Padres in second. So I guess both my answers will be that division. One is Diamondbacks actually leading that division, and 2 would be the Padres being below 500. Like, I don't know how they should have one of the best, like, top 5 in the batting order in the whole league, yet they just can't get anything going. So them being below 500 has surprised me so far.
I think it's funny because you and I, we preach this. We don't know everything about baseball, but we preach this all the time. Pitching wins you championships, and the Padres they can have the Dominican and Venezuelan all-stars combined, but if you don't have starting pitching, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I've noticed over the last few years is how important bullpen pitching is. I always thought, like, most of my time growing up, I was like, bullpen, it matters, but it's always about the starting pitchers. I feel like I've shifted my mind on that a lot. Like, I'm starting to realize how important bullpen pitching is, because, like, you can have a pitcher, like, I don't know if this is a great example because some of it was hitting, but Jacob deGrom, like, he'll go back in his Mets days, he'd go 7 innings scoreless, then the bullpen would come in, give up 2 runs, and they'd lose 2-1. So it's just like, you got to have a bullpen that can, like, at least 2 or 3 guys that can come in, get 1 inning done, get out, get 1 inning done, get out. But, like, even the Astros are having Ryan Presley come in, and he's been choking a lot. Like, even if you have one guy who just comes in and is consistently blowing it, it makes a huge difference. And so you always, I feel like you notice the teams that are at the top of the league in bullpen ERA usually are some of the better teams. You won't see a team with the worst bullpen ERA at the top of the league. Like, it's become more and more important to me.
The Yankees have the best bullpen ERA as of today, as of June 22nd, 2023. I think it's funny because, like, not to be biased, but the Astros last year, they had a fantastic bullpen, right? 2021, the Braves, that bullpen was literally nails. Like, every single time they came in, they were nails. Like, AJ Minter was nails. Like, Will Smith, the whole bullpen was nails. 2020, the Dodgers, obviously, the bullpen was nails. 2019, the Nationals, they had a fantastic 5 rotation. Like, that's why, no offense, I know you guys lost, but the Red Sox in 2018 had one of the most dominant postseason runs ever. I'm saying that all biased aside. 2018 again, 2017. Yeah, like, it's a factor. It plays a factor. In 2016, the Cubs had, like, they were down 3-1, and they had John Lester, Kyle Hendricks, and Jake Arrieta, and they didn't even blink an eye.
It is crazy. Like, if you look at the past champions, like you said, you just see a consistent theme. And to touch back on Josean's point about the Reds, it is crazy how they're doing this good, and they're pitching, like, I think their team ERA is like bottom 5 in the whole league. So it's kind of crazy to see them this well, like how they're doing so well. I know they're kind of on a winning streak, and that's part of the reason they're so high, but like, if you're bottom 5 in ERA and you're still leading your division, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, they actually have the 14th out of 15th ERA in the National League. So imagine.
What?
So, yeah.
That's nuts.
I think not Rockies. Who's worse than them?
I think it might be the Rockies. Yeah, let me check.
Yeah, it might just be
It is the Rockies. It is the Rockies.
Yeah, they terrible.
I think so. Listen, I'm not standing watching because it's only June 22nd. We don't get to standing watch until like August. But the Dodgers are 3rd in their division, and it's June 22nd. Who would have predicted this? Because the Diamondbacks have been fantastic. The Giants have some black magic going for them again. Bro, like,
to play devil's advocate, I mean, I think going into the season, a lot of people felt like the Dodgers roster was lacking a little bit, especially with the loss of Trey Turner. Their biggest hole is by far shortstop, and the Marlins again, Miguel Rojas. You know, they did trade for them, trying to patch up a hole, but he's hurt. You know, he's not performing when he is playing. So the Dodgers do have holes that they need to address. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is the Dodgers. Somehow they get things done no matter what. So definitely it'll be interesting when trade deadline comes around to see how they decide to patch up those holes, because to have that roster assembled and be 3rd place, I think none of us pretty much saw that going in.
Yeah, I feel like it's crazy because even though the Dodgers had like not a mediocre roster, because obviously they're still baseball players, but like not a roster compared to previous years, but everyone and their mother was still saying the Dodgers are going to find a way because they always find a way.
They always find a way. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like the recipe last year was to not win 100 games. Well, in the National League, because you look at the Phillies, and I don't think they broke 90 wins. So maybe the Dodgers not winning the division and being a wild card team could be good for them baseball wise. But obviously, it's still very early. Before we go to the American League, I just want to talk about the amount of talent. You got, well, you know what, Josean, I'm going to let you go first. Mr. Fernando Tatis Jr., bro. He's played 54 games. He is top 7 in winnable replacement in the whole entire MLB. I think he's top 5 in the National League. What more can be said about this man? Because coming into the season, everyone wanted to get their retweets and get their likes and say, oh, he's not going to be good again without the steroids and stuff. But hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So what do you have to say about Tatis, man? Because he's an animal.
Do you imagine it? Can you imagine had he not missed those 25 games at the beginning of the season, where he would be at numbers-wise? I mean, this dude's just a monster, man. And he's proving everybody wrong. And not only is he offensively doing amazing, but he's become one of the best defensive right fielders overnight, it seems. Like, he's just so immensely talented. It's absurd, honestly.
Yeah, that move to outfield from shortstop, I think that was so good for him. Like, because I'm pretty sure there was points where he was like leading. Granted, shortstops usually do have a lot of errors just because they see a lot of the
balls,
attention, but he was like leading the league in errors at a couple different points. And then this move to right field, he's been pretty lights out as a defender since then. Like, I feel like, but even whenever I was watching him at shortstop, he just felt like always felt like a player who belonged down the outfield. And with Tatis moving there, man, right field has some insane talent. Like, there's like that might be the most talented position in the league.
You got Mookie, Judge, and Tatis right off the bat. I mean, Judge that's an insane
top 3. That's an insane top 3 right there.
Absolutely. I mean, and although Kyle Tucker, you got Kyle Tucker from Houston, and although
he's been struggling lately, but
well,
Bryce
true, but
back in his day.
Exactly. Bryce is currently hurt. You know, he could come off that Tommy John, so he's not playing the field. But normally he would be out there, right? So you have Bryce to account for. Right field definitely is stacked. It's stacked with talent.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go bias, just like Josean went bias. Eric, you gotta think of someone, probably Corbin Carroll. But listen, man, the things that were said about Ronald Acuna Jr. last year, man, they really pissed me off, bro. But right now, Ohtani aside, Ronald Acuna is number 1 in win above replacement in the whole entire MLB. I think he has like a 3.4 win above replacement. He's batting over 300, on base percentage over 400. His slugging is over 500. He has a 157 weighted runs created. He already has 31 stolen bases. He has 15 home runs, 63 runs scored, and 46 RBIs.
Wow.
Video game. We're only in the first half. I'm so happy for him. He finally got that winter off, and then he played in the World Baseball Classic. Obviously, he didn't perform up to its standards per se, but I'm just happy Acuna's healthy. When Acuna's healthy, the game is in a better place. So shout out to Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr. But Eric, who do you got for the National League?
I'll go with the Josean's Marlins. I'll just go with the Reyes because he's
Arise.
I get so frustrated when people are like, most of them are just singles. His OPS, bro, he's getting on base 45% of the time. Like, absolutely. At some point, me and Andres always talk about how we love advanced stats in baseball and we think they're so important. But at some point, you got to set aside every advanced stat and look at it. 45% of the time, he's getting on base. Like, that's just unheard of. 40%. He's batting 398, I think, right now. Like, yeah. I hope he bats 400 on season. I hope he keeps it up. And it's kind of crazy because every time he's slowing down, he's back down to 380. He'll go 5 for 5.
Bro, he went 5 for 5.
Like, he's just he's insane. And I don't know if y'all play that Beat the Street game on your phone. He's like an automatic pick every time. It feels like
every single time.
It's crazy. Like I want to give him props because I think he deserves it. I think it's insane what he's doing. I don't think anybody, like, if you told anyone before the season that he'd bat 400, people would laugh at you. But he's doing it, so we should give him his flowers for that.
Eric, you said he deserved MVP, man. I saw the tweet.
Yeah, okay, hold on. To be fair, I was just getting frustrated because I was in an argument with someone saying, "Well, look at his exit velocity," and I was like, "Shut the fuck up, man!" Like, he's going crazy. Like, it was just
his OPS.
So sure, it's still Acuna, whatever, blah blah blah. But I just want to give Reyes his flowers because people were pissing me off about that.
His OPS is over 900, bro. And
yeah,
I mean, so a little tidbit for you guys. I'm not sure if you guys knew. He has more career multi-hit games than career strikeouts, and he's been in the majors for about 4 or 5 seasons. I saw that
on Twitter.
Like, I'm not exactly too sure of the numbers. It's like 150 career multi-hit games and like 112 strikes, like something like that. Like, it's absurd how great of a hitter he is, and especially in an era where it's all about launch angle, exit velocity. To have just an old school player that wants to put the contact and straight to all fields is extremely refreshing. Not only as a Marlins fan, or somebody that comes to Marlins, but just as a baseball fan in general, you rarely see that now.
He plays the game the right way.
Yeah, high contact, low strikeout player. You can't complain about that. Like, that's if you had 9 of him on your team, you're not losing. Like, so people gotta let go of that dumb shit. Like, I just get so frustrated with that. I don't know. Like, sure, home runs are better. No one's denying that. But goddamn, give the man his credit. Like, I get so frustrated that people are like, he shouldn't even be top whatever for MVP. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, we haven't seen a 400 season.
Yeah, since
like, what, World War II, I think?
Yeah, probably. Since Ted Williams did it in like 1944 or something like that. Like,
that wasn't even real either.
Every time he has like a 4-hit, 5-hit game, I love it. I get so happy because I want him to do it.
Bro, the thing that I love the most about Arise is his celebration at first base, Eric. So he does like a fish. He goes like that, like a gun thing, and then he just smacks the first base coach. Because like Hispanics, like the way they do shit, like they just go like that. It's hilarious, bro. So he goes like that with the little fish, and then he just like he does the gun thing, and then he just I'll send you a clip after. But
I've seen him do it before.
Yeah, bro. He went. I think on Saturday he went 5 for 5, and then he went 1 for 4, and then he went 5 for 5 again the following day. Like, he has 3 5-hit games this month. I mean, he's fantastic. Like, I'm not trying to be biased because he's from the motherland and everything, and he's playing for the Marlins, and he's playing for the Marlins and everything. But bro, like, come on, man. Like you said, at some point, bro. But his OPS is still, I think, 930
or something. 930.
Yeah. He's definitely fantastic. But I'm glad you get Luis Ariza's props. So
Yeah.
before we move on to the American League, one more thing. Top 3 teams, ready? Top 5 teams, excuse me. You got the Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
The Diamondbacks, the Giants, the Marlins, and the Dodgers. Was that your prediction at the beginning of the year?
That's insane. Yeah. Diamondbacks is still the most surprising there. I mean, I wouldn't have expected Marlins to be, but Diamondbacks as a top 5 team over the Dodgers still is just surprising to me.
In the NL West, 16 games over 500. Like, what? Like,
Insane.
what? Yeah. No, definitely. I mentioned Cincinnati earlier, and most of it is just because they're on a hot streak. So, although they are in first place, Arizona has been doing it since the first day of the season. So, it's crazy.
Yeah, their run differential is like plus 37, which is like 3rd in the National League. But the Braves is like plus 106. The Braves are just, listen, I know we're all like with the division rival hate, but like we can't do it anymore because we're adults now. But dude, the Braves are a wagon, man. The Braves are really good. Don't worry, Eric. We're gonna talk about the Texas Rangers soon when we get to your side. Don't worry.
God.
But the Braves are a wagon, man. But listen, like I said, there's so much talent in the MLB right now. I mean, now we're gonna get to the AL. We're gonna talk about Mr. Shohei, but the National League, there's like 6 or 7 players that could legitimately be MVP. Listen, like I said, it's June 22nd. All the MVP talk, I get it, but listen, you got Acuna, you got Corbin Carroll, Luis Ariz, you got Mookie Betts, you got Freddie Freeman, you got Tatis. That's already 7 players that I'm mentioning, and we're not even like halfway through the season. Like obviously, some players are gonna fall off, some players are gonna stay consistent. We'll see what happens. Prior to the season, however, not to brag, my preseason MVP pick was Ronald Acuna Jr. So in New York, you can't bet on future MVP. So I asked one of my friends in Jersey, and it was like plus 650. So I don't know what the odds are right now. I think he might be the favorite, but nonetheless,
yeah, I would assume so. I can't imagine he's not.
Yeah, but like I said, there's good baseball being played right now, and I just love it, bro. I really do. And when it comes to the postseason, right? So the fact that there's a 3rd wild card gives teams more room for error. What do you guys think about the 3rd wild card? Like, are you guys happy with it? Not happy? Because obviously we all love baseball. It's gonna be more postseason baseball. But I feel like the 3rd wild card, all the teams are like, there's more room for error.
I feel like at first I didn't like it, but I feel like I've just come to accept it. Like NBA, they added the play in. NFL, they added another wild card. MLB, they added, like, I've just come to accept that's how sports are kind of moving, where more teams are making the playoffs. And I don't know. MLB was probably the one that bothered me the least. So I never really had too much of a problem with it. So I guess I'm just neutral on it. I don't think it makes it better. I don't think it makes it worse. I mean, more playoff baseball is never a bad thing because every year, man, people always talk about, oh, NBA playoffs are so good. NFL, I feel like nothing touches MLB playoffs. Like, it's still, baseball is probably like my 3rd favorite sport, but when it comes to playoffs, I still think it's the best.
I agree with Eric. I mean, when you think of how long a baseball season is, if your team has fallen off by August, most people just tune out. I think having that third, August is start of football season, August, September. So a lot of people, if your team is not in the race, they tune out, start paying attention to other sports. So having that 3rd wild card definitely keeps at least, let's say, 3 to 5 more teams in the hunt as the season winds down, and it could definitely, bring more eyes to the sport. So I feel like I like it, especially because it helps a team like the Marlins that they're in a stacked division where you got the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves that are all huge spenders. It helps a team, a lower team like the Marlins, just sneak in sometimes. So definitely, I am a fan of that 3rd wild card spot.
Do you guys? This is gonna sound controversial. Do you guys think they should get rid of divisions? Looking at the NL Central and the AL Central, and God knows what kind of baseball they're playing because it's not baseball like major leagues.
Nah, I don't think so. I think you got to keep divisions.
I'm going to play devil's advocate and say with the schedule changes that you play your division rivals less now, maybe it incentivizes to just get rid of divisions. I mean, it's still important. Interdivision play is still important, but you're playing each team 5 games less. So maybe with them shifting away from how important division games are, with you playing every single team, maybe a 1 through 8 seeding, 1 through 6 seeding would be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I'd be cool if they did like a test season to see how it went and stuff. And I mean, I'm sure I feel like it's kind of one of those things though where like if it happened, I would be fine with it. It wouldn't bother me, but as of right now, I think I just like the divisions, having the rivals. I like playing the Rangers so much. I like playing the Angels so much. I don't know. There's something about those rivalries. Like back whenever Astros were in the NL Central, I loved playing the Cardinals so much. I love playing the Cubs so much. But like even my dad to this day, he still doesn't really watch baseball because he was so mad whenever they moved us to the AL.
2000 and
Like 10,
4?
11 or
Yeah.
something. It was like
no,
yeah, it
I'm
was
lying.
11.
It was like 11. 11
y'all,
yeah.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, it was a long
2012,
time ago.
2011.
So
No, it wasn't.
okay, sorry. Yeah, we're old. We can't say that.
Nah, it was a long time ago. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Long ass time ago. That's
So right now you got the Braves, the Diamondbacks, the Giants,
that's crazy.
the Marlins.
Someone born in 2013 is 10 right now. That's crazy to think about. Like,
No,
I don't
that's
like
crazy.
thinking about that.
This is-
Sorry,
this is
sorry to
cool,
cut you
man.
off. I just had a thought real quick. And
This is the last
bothered
year
me.
that we could say that the Heat are NBA champs in the last 10 years. Like this is just
That's rough.
David Lillard tonight. So we got the Braves, the Diamondbacks, the Giants, the Marlins, the Dodgers, and the Reds. That would be the playoffs right now if there was no divisions. What do you guys think about that? The Braves and the Diamondbacks get a bye. The Giants play the Reds, and the Dodgers play the Marlins.
I mean, definitely the Marlins have it cut out for them, I would say.
Hey, but they're at home. They're at home.
Yeah, they would have home field advantage. I mean, and I would trust like let's say we'll start right now, Sandy Uri, even though Sandy's having a tough first half of the season. I mean, when push comes to shove, you gotta trust your ace, gotta trust the reigning Cy Young. So I mean, I feel like for the first 2 home games that definitely the Marlins will have that advantage at least.
Yeah. So that's been everything for the National League, the league with like 900 MVPs. Now we're gonna shift to the American League. Eric, you're the fan of the Houston Astros, and obviously they're not good right now. But besides the Houston Astros and besides Mr. Shohei Ohtani, what has been the most crazy thing for you thus far? It could be a player, it could be a team. Well, let's do a team first. So you're gonna say the Rangers. I know you are, but what's been the most surprising team for you so far?
All right, I won't go with the Rangers. I'll go like surprising good or bad, or just good.
It could be
surprising?
good or yeah, because like the Mets were surprisingly bad, so you could say good or bad.
I think me and you even talked about it plenty of times about them the last couple of years. We never really thought they were elite, but like I'm kind of shocked the White Sox are this bad though. Like I thought they'd be better than this. Like that's surprising me. Like Tim Anderson's having a terrible season, man. Horrible. Like
I have them in fantasy.
they were even talking. That's rough. They were even talking about like how they might have a fire sale because a lot of players went out. The only player I was looking at that roster and like we might need a starting pitcher, but we don't need a bullpen. Like the only player that I would want the Astros to trade for right now would be like Luis Robert.
What about Dylan Cease?
I don't think we like. I think we need a 4th starter, but I don't know. I think he would cost too much to where it wouldn't be worth it.
What's the motto?
I don't know.
You can never have too much pitching, man.
Yeah, like I said, we definitely need a 4th one. We have 3 reliable starters. We need a 4th one. I don't think we necessarily need a 5th one because I think JP France is good enough for a 5th to kind of just put on the back burner. And also playoffs, it usually gets shortened to 4 a lot of times anyway. But I just think it's just shocking to me how bad they were because even first game of the season, we played them in the first series of the season, and Cease is like dialing us up, and I was like, "Oh, White Sox are about to be pretty elite this year."
Oh, everyone said Wilson's hangover in game 1.
Dude, since then they've just been absolute dog shit. It's crazy, and I follow this White Sox fan on TikTok just because he loses his mind every game.
Did you see that the radio rant? Did you guys see that on TikTok?
Yes, the rant. Yeah,
bro, he went on for like 6 minutes. Bro, Josean, I'm gonna find that.
I mean,
bro, it's the funniest audio
most
ever.
Legendary.
The
rant
guy,
ever.
he was spitting. He was spitting.
Bro.
He didn't tell a single lie. Like everything he said was
It's
true.
just, they got to do something because like you can't try and recover this season. I don't think it's just not gonna happen. So like, especially if players are asking out, I think you just kind of gotta go. Like you gotta start selling some players at least, or at least making big trades to get players in. You gotta do something. You can't just sit by.
Yeah, I just think that they missed their window. I mean, the Tony La Russa hire was terrible. I mean, like he was not the coach, the manager for that team, and the morale was always low, and like players just going. They just missed their window completely. I think a full blow up rebuild is due for them. The only person they have Jay Berger, who's really good. he'll probably net you a couple things at the deadline. Obviously, Luis Robert. Tim Anderson, although he's having a bad season, he has that pedigree, so he'll get you something. Yeah. But the White Sox is just like, you didn't expect. You thought they were going to win the division by a landslide. I mean, they had the Guardians to compete right there, but I don't know, man. They are very
division.
Yeah,
it's
they
a terrible division, and they're still fourth in it. Like, how bad are you? That's terrible.
Yeah.
I think they're like 10 games under 500.
Yeah, something like that, man. It's a shame because you didn't expect that coming into the season. They were the favorites to win the division.
Yeah, easily. And I will say it's like, granted, they're only 500, but the Twins do look decent. Like, Correa is having a bit of a rough season, but I hope he turns around.
A bit. More like a bot. Like, a lot.
All right, let's relax. That's still
he
my
doesn't, bro, he doesn't. No. Yeah,
yeah.
Astros anymore. You don't.
Yeah, that's still my boy though. Like, I'm still gonna like Springer no matter where he goes. Garrett Cole, him though. I don't care about him. But
wow,
yo,
really?
you seen that pic of his aura? That aura pic circling around Twitter,
bro.
How he looked like a monster in Houston, and now he looks like a
god.
Did you see how Steinbrenner came out and said today or yesterday? He was like, "We're not gonna change the facial hair policy because people respect it." I'm like, dude, shut up. We are not in 1933 anymore, bro.
No, I don't get it at all. They're such a weird. I don't know. Whatever. Just you gotta let them be them. Kind of. They're gonna do their own thing.
Manito, what's your surprise team of the American League?
You know, the Rays, and it's not that it's a surprise that they're good. It's just like these guys are always good, man. Like,
they just don't die.
They don't. No matter what, whoever is playing for them, it doesn't matter if you've never heard of their name. They're going to bat 300, hit 30 bombs. It's like, where do they find that lab down in Tampa is insane, and it's a shame that they're going through all the off the field stuff with the stadium and the moving, because that's a team. You put that team, let's say, in a big market like New York, that stadium is packed every single day because they're always in it. So the Rays just always consistently being the best team in baseball, at least record-wise in the regular season. It's crazy. As for a player that I've always loved, even since they were drafted coming out of college, is Adley Rutschman. In my opinion, Adley is the best catcher in baseball. He got to the majors, never didn't miss a beat. Just hitting, great defense. I love watching Adley hit, so definitely my two little bits when it comes to the American League.
Yeah, speaking of, we were talking about how, like, whenever players get the call up, like, from minors or whatever, did y'all see whenever he played in his first MLB game and whenever he walked out to be catcher, he just, like, stood there and was, like, looking around, soaking it all in? I love that. Like, that's so, like, your dream is coming true. Like, enjoy the moment to the fullest. I love seeing stuff like that. Like, it makes you happy. You can't not smile watching that stuff.
Definitely, man. I love Adley. I wish
he's insane.
I wish I could see him more.
The Orioles are cooking up something over there, man.
Yeah, man.
They're really
because Jackson Holiday, he's crushing it in minors right now.
Imagine when he gets to the majors, man.
They're gonna be insane. I'm excited to watch that.
It's funny because, like, well, I'm a Dolphins fan. We've had fire sales forever, but fire sales in sports, they're never easy, right? In NBA, when you're not going to compete anymore, you got to trade your star players somewhere, and you got to tank when they're not good enough. The Blazers. In the NFL, the same thing like happens, right? You got to tank for years. In MLB, people are so impatient with rebuilds, man. They really do not like rebuilds. Look at the Orioles. The Orioles made the playoffs in 2014. 2015 and 2016. 2016, they lost the wild card game to the Blue Jays. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's start all over. They traded away Manny Machado. J.J. Hardy retired. Brian Roberts retired. Chris Davis is probably in God knows what planet. Like, they got rid of everything, right? And now look at them. They're 45 and 28. Like I said, I'm not standing watching. This is the sample size that we have. They're 45 and 28.
They're special, and they're gonna just keep getting better too because they have a lot of their good talent. They have a good mix of vets and young guys, but some of their best players are the young guys, like Adley and then Jackson coming in soon, and Grayson. Like they're gonna be good for a good while, I think.
Grayson Rodriguez,
yeah. I like what they're building up over there, and they're a fun team to watch to me too.
Yeah, they're like, you watch their games, and the Rays got out to like a 6-0 lead a couple days ago in the first inning, and you didn't even think they were out of it because it's the Orioles. Their offense is always cooking. It's crazy.
Fun to watch.
Eric, I know you're gonna be upset, but the team that I had in mind, the Texas Rangers, bro. They have 3 players in the top 10 for win above replacement. They have the best offense ever. That's a hyperbole for those of you that are gonna fact check it. It's a hyperbole. Bro, they've been fantastic. I mean, we saw this coming. Listen, I'm not trying to be an asshole, right? The best pitcher, one of the best pitchers. Let me keep it sweet. One of the best pitchers of our generation. His arm died again, unfortunately. You know, hopefully he comes back stronger in 2025. But he's getting up there in age. I mean, I think a lot of people are trying to make that Verlander DeGrom comparison, which is a stupid comparison. The mechanics are not the same at all. Thank you very much. The Rangers are 46-28. They have the second best record in the American League. Their run differential is plus 153. They're 24-13 at home. They're 22-15 on the road. They've been fantastic. They've scored over 450 runs. Only team in the MLB to score over 450 runs. I mean, they're a wagon, bro. Like, the craziest thing, honestly, besides them, a switch hitting catcher is so fantastic. And he's top 10 in win above replacement. Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, and I think they have obviously Marcus Semien. Corey Seager, since he's been back from his injury, looks like prime Barry Bonds. He's batting like over 350. His OPS is like 1.123 or something like that since coming back. Like, they're a wagon offensively, man. What do you guys think? Josean first, because I know you're gonna say something stupid, and I'm waiting for it.
Well, come on now, I'm unbiased.
Man, you touched great points, Andres. Corey Seager has been one of my favorite players for a very long time now.
Me too, money.
And the fact that he missed about a month and he came back and it's just raking, it's just incredible. A team that was already hot, you just plug him in and they shoot up. It's Nathan Eovaldi is having a great season pitching. That team, you know, they spent a ton of money to get that team, and you know DeGrom is not even pitching, but that it is working so far. You know, that owner, they invested a ton of money. They got a new stadium. They said that they were going to build a team, and so far, you know, so good for them.
Bro, they've had a lot of teams clinch on that field besides them.
That is true.
You got the Aaron Judge home run. You got the Dodgers winning the World Series. I think the Dodgers Braves series was it there? It was definitely yeah. I think it was there. I know the World Series was there. I think the NLCS.
The World Series was there. Yeah, NLCS was also there.
Yeah. But listen, man, they're a wagon. Eric, what do you think about the Texas Rangers? You know, and the rivalry with the Houston Astros?
Like I said, I will be unbiased.
Why is it okay? But time out. Why is there a rivalry? Like, there shouldn't be a rivalry.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, I will be
Texas
unbiased,
thing, right?
Yeah, I'll be unbiased. For like up until maybe like 3 weeks ago, I was like, they don't scare me. Whatever. If I want them in a series, we'll still beat them. I ain't gonna lie, I'm taking all that back. They're scary now. They're starting to scare me. And Astros also don't look great right now. I know Astros are that team that kind of like, you don't like judge them in June. You judge them later in the season and stuff. Something about this year with the Astros feels kind of different, and something about the Rangers feels kind of different for opposite reasons though. Rangers feel special this year. Like one of my friends, well, a ton of my friends are Rangers fans because I went to school kind of north of Houston, so there's a lot more Rangers fans too. And
oh, really? I didn't know that. Huh?
Yeah. They're like where I went to school is kind of like in between Arlington and Houston. So
so Houston and Arlington are like near each other.
They're like 3 not near each other, I guess, but my school was like halfway in between. So I had a ton of Rangers fans, and they were so confident coming into this year. They were like, we're going to be better than y'all. I was like, yeah, whatever. Y'all say this every year. Now they talk shit to me, and I'm just like, what do I say? I can't say anything because they're just fucking us up.
Bring out the rings, baby. Rings.
I hate when people do that to me, so I don't want to do that to them. Like, yeah, it is annoying. You can finally talk once in 6 years, but fuck, they're good, man. They're so good. It's frustrating.
Rather get punched in May than knocked out in October.
That's why baseball is 100% a sport of who's hottest. It's who's hottest, who's doing the best come playoff time. You could how many games did the Braves win in 2019? 89 or something? Like, I don't think they won even 90. Maybe they won 90 barely.
When they won the World Series in 2021?
Yeah.
I think think they won that division, honestly.
But they didn't have like a crazy amount.
No,
of
that was the Nationals in 2019 when they won it. They started off 19.
National.
No, actually, you're right, Eric. The
Nationals
started off
Nationals
slow
in
too.
19. The Nationals in 19 had 87 wins, I believe. Or something
So like it's a game of which I still don't fully understand how Andres doesn't think momentum is a thing, because I feel like baseball is a true testament of that. But that's why I'm kind of like, I don't want to write the Astros off or put the Rangers in yet, because again, we're not even halfway into the season yet. We're almost halfway in, so a lot can change. But it's scary right now. They look dominant.
You know, the Astros are missing their best player. I mean, Jordan is not even in the lineup.
Yeah.
So once he comes back, I feel like that'll give him that boost. Houston is hanging around. I mean, they had a rough stretch last couple weeks, but I mean,
but like we don't have Brantley, Luis Garcia got hurt, Jose Urquidy got hurt, Lance McCullers got hurt. It's like 3 of our starting pitchers are out, so it's like it's rough. But health matters, and the fact that we're not fully healthy, and our team is. Some of our players are starting
Jose Altuve was out, obviously.
Jose Altuve is starting to get older, though. Like, a lot of these players are kind of getting older. And
First ballot Hall of Famer, baby.
Jordan has not, like, he never has serious injuries, but he does have constant little tweaks that do it.
Yeah.
And what if that does happen come playoff time? What if he gets one of those tweaks and misses playoffs? That matters. And the Rangers have been able to stay relatively healthy. So, like, I don't know. As of right now, they're a very scary team. I think I would feel like it's pretty safe to say that the top 3 teams in the AL right now are Rangers, Rays, and Orioles. I think that's a pretty safe top 3. I don't know if y'all agree.
I would agree. I mean, definitely.
I guess. Yeah.
Who else would you put there?
Yeah,
that's definitely the top 3.
So the only one missing is Toronto, and Toronto is
they've been inconsistent.
They've been inconsistent. So
Bo Bichette has been fantastic this year. He's batting over 300, on base percentage over 340, slugging over 500. He's he has like a 137 weighted runs created. But I think that's fair to say, honestly.
Yeah. So like it's just I feel like that is the tier 1 of teams, and then you get to tier 2, and you get like. The Yankees, the Astros, the
Blue Jays, the Red Sox.
Blue Jays.
Blue Jays. I feel like you get to that tier 2, but I feel like right now that's a pretty safe tier 1 of them 3, and they all 3 just look unstoppable right now. Like the only ones that it feels like are beating them consistently are each other.
Right.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I remember the Rangers and the Rays played 2. Was it 2 weeks ago? 3? Might have been 2.
About 2.
Yeah, they played that Friday, Saturday, Sunday set. It was a great series.
Up on each other. Yeah. So it's like. If they're not playing each other, they're pretty much rolling through the other teams, especially whenever you have a team like the Athletics in your division. You're going to just, like, run up your run differential on them, and the Rangers have a crazy run differential. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's they're a special team, and like I said, it's only June 22nd right now. But as of right now, I don't know. I would probably – I don't know about the Rays, but I would pick – the Rangers probably over the Orioles in a series right now. Like Rangers are probably the number 2 team in the AL in my opinion.
It's just funny because like as a kid, I really hated the Rangers. Like I hated the Rangers, the Phillies. I still hate the Phillies. The Yankees. I still hate the Yankees. Obviously, the Rangers, the Phillies, the Yankees, the Braves. I grew to like them because Acuna plays for them and like they're a wagon. But like. But bro, like the Rangers are really good right now, and like Manito was saying earlier, like Corey Seager, bro, like I really want to get one of those City Connect jerseys. Like those things are beautiful. But guys, I'm trying to think. So do we have the same disappointing team in the AL? I want to say it. Can everyone think of one?
The White Sox.
Yeah, I had the White Sox.
I have the Mariners, man. I really think...
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Well,
the
Mariners,
they should have been better than the White Sox too. Like they should have been above the White Sox preseason too, and they're still pretty terrible. Julio Rodriguez, man, I thought he was gonna be like not MVP talks, but I thought he was gonna be like in that tier 2 again.
Yeah,
talking about tiers, like in that tier 2.
I need to stop drafting players, man. I drafted him this year.
Hey, to be fair, at least you have a couple wins this year compared to last year.
Was that necessary?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was wrong. You're right. After week 1, Andres already beat his total wins last year.
Damn.
Hey, time out. How are you gonna say that when I literally I beat you on the head-to-head this year. You
Yeah,
can't
that
talk
was
shit.
bullshit, man.
Yeah,
I can't
wanna
talk.
hear it.
You're right. I can't.
Yeah.
I
Fuck
can't
off.
talk.
No, but listen, the last team in the AL East, the Red Sox, would be the first team in the AL Central. That's just wild, bro.
AL Central is embarrassing, man. It's crazy.
So I don't know if you guys like sipping the haterade or not. Are you guys rooting for the Angels to make the playoffs, to have Trout and Ohtani in the playoffs? Or are you guys being like, nah, I hope they miss it? Josean, what do you think, bro? Are you sipping the haterade?
You know, as somebody that I have no horse in this race, so me being a National League guy, I want, Trout and Ohtani because they're two of the best players of this generation of all time. I would even go as far as saying that I would like them to make the playoffs and just get to that next level. I don't know if you guys saw the quote that just came out about Mike Trout asking Mookie Betts if the World Baseball Classic is how the playoffs felt. I feel like that's sad when you think about the best player in the world, at least for a decade.
10 years. Let's call it 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. A decade. Or the best player in the world for a decade is asking other great players, like, how does the playoffs feel like, So definitely, as just a fan of the sport, a fan of Mike Trout, I would love to see them make the playoffs and get to that next level of playoff intensity, of baseball intensity, because you want to see the best players in the biggest moments, I would say. Yeah,
I 100% agree. And I think it's just, it would be good for the sport to have Shohei and Trout in the playoffs. Like, you want your best players in the biggest moments. That's why the World Baseball Classic, how it ended, everyone was like going nuts about it because you had Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani teammates going head to head for the title, essentially. Like,
did you see that?
It doesn't get better than that.
Did you see that Trout said that the only time he's trying to hit a home run was when he was?
Yeah, he said he was like, I was trying to go yard against him. Like, he said he was trying to go all out.
Bro, the funniest thing about that at bat, Ohtani threw him everything he wasn't gonna hit regardless. He threw him a fastball, he threw him the changeup and the slider, and he wasn't hitting like any of their regardless.
Dude, so I would love to see him there. Even as someone who plays in the division, whatever, we're supposed to be rivals. I don't care. It's good for baseball. That's the same way I hope the Padres start turning it up because it's good for baseball if Soto, if Tatis, if they're in the playoffs. It's better for baseball when the stars are in the playoffs. Like, if Acuna was missing the playoffs right now, do you know how shitty that would be?
I guess we'll never know. Bro, you know what's crazy? So the Angels are like 43-28. Mike Trout is top 15 in win above replacement. Like, he's not even top 10 or top 5, which is nuts to say because a famous quote by Aaron Rodgers said, "A bad year for me is a career year for a lot of people." So a bad year for Mike Trout right now. He's batting .250, 358 on base percentage, 466 slugging, 127 weighted runs created, and he has a 2.2 win above replacement. So I think it's pretty funny, like that quote by Aaron Rodgers, but like it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are starting to say that Mike Trout is washed, but Shohei Ohtani, I can stand up and give you a round of applause. He has a 5 win above replacement, and we're not even halfway through the season. Last year at the break, Aaron Judge was at 4.6, Devers was at 4.6, I think J-Ram was at 4.6, but Ohtani, man, he started off slow, and now he's, bro.
It was crazy seeing because all of his home runs are like 400-foot
cock shots,
too.
Literally
like,
cock shots,
bombs. It's crazy.
Him and Acuna, I think he has 5 home runs over 460 feet, but bro, when you talk to someone about baseball and like you break it down, there's so much to be said. Like, there's so much that we didn't touch upon on this episode, but man, I'm very glad we got to do this shit, bro.
Yeah, Victor Wembanyama just officially got picked number 1.
Yep.
Why'd you spoil it, man?
I know. I honestly thought they were gonna go with like Scoot or something, but not. Yeah, it was good to talk about baseball. That's why I went. Like I said, I went to that Astros game for the workouting yesterday, and God, it was a phenomenal game. Like, it was like 18 total runs scored. Like, I don't know. There's just something about being at a baseball game, and me and my friend always talk about it. We were in this one club like a year ago. We went for my friend's birthday, and we got tickets to this Gallagher club where they have pizza, they have wings, they have brisket, they have all this food. They have all this food, like crazy food. And me and my friend go straight to the hot dogs because I feel like if you're at a baseball game, you got to have a hot dog. And we just, all this food, and we just go straight to the hot dogs every time because there's something about being at a baseball game eating hot dogs. And I don't know.
Bro,
there's a feeling about baseball games, and I love it. Man, it's just, you got to do it.
If you ever go to Marlins Park, you got to get the chicken tenders, man. That shit saved my life.
They're good.
Bro, that shit.
They hit different,
Manito, vouch for me.
They hit different in some honey mustard dipping sauce. Yeah, no, it's
Son.
All right.
different. It's different. It's different.
Well,
Yo.
my friend just applied to a job to. Sorry if it got loud real quick. My friend just applied to a job to University of Miami, and she was saying if she got the job, she was like saying that I got to come down and visit her and stay at her place or whatever. And if that happens, I'll make sure we go to a Marlins game.
Yeah, man.
We go to a Hurricanes game.
We'll
We go to
link up.
everything.
Manito, he's a Hurricanes fan too. So
Yeah, I love the
Let's
Hurricanes
go.
because like Andre Johnson's my favorite player ever. So
Come on, man. Yes, sir. All about
Yeah.
you, man. Yo,
We love
just
that.
one last quick topic. I do want to shout out Esteri Ruiz. He has 39 stolen bases. He has
Good
39
man.
stolen bases halfway through the season. Last year, John Birdie, fellow Martin, led the league with 41. So I don't know.
That's
I'm
a
not-
good shout out.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, shout out the rule changes. I don't know if you guys have spoken this in other podcasts, but
Yeah,
me
we have.
personally,
I love it.
huge fan of
It-
the rule changes.
8% of MLB baseball games this year have been 3 hours. 8. Ocho.
Yeah, it's
Calle ocho.
insane. Think about it. You're having 3 historical seasons, and they're all different types. Arias hitting 400, Corbin Carroll having one of the best rookie seasons ever, and Ronald Acuna on 40-40 watch. And I attribute
40-60.
it all. Yeah, exactly. Like I attribute it all to rule changes. So definitely, I think.
Yep. We are not giving the commissioner any credit. Hell no.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think without giving Rob Manfred any credit, that was great for the sport, in my opinion.
Shout out to MLBPA. We're not
That's
giving
what
credit to
I love seeing people who are like very, very casual MLB fans who don't really pay attention. They're like, why did they take away the steroids? The best part about baseball is when they score runs. Let them take steroids again. And it's always funny hearing that stuff.
Yeah.
Also, another player, since we're shouting out, Zach Gallen has been nails this
Dude,
season.
that's what pissed me off. He is my go-to every single year. Pick him in fantasy. Right before I was about to pick him, someone else took him, and I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like, he's my
Dang.
guy. I take him every year. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, he's a dog.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, we're not giving credit to Mr. Manfred. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been everything for episode number 51 of the Sports Fellas podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Manito, do you want to shout out your podcast?
Yeah, man. If you guys could please shoot me a follow on Twitter, J Sports Miami. I'm covering all things Marlins all year, and hopefully into the future. I would greatly appreciate a follow and listen to our podcast. There should be some tweets up for 5 Reasons Flip the End podcast.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, take care, and we'll see you next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks when Damian Lillard is finally Miami Heat player.
Oh yeah.
No, he won't. No, he won't. Peace.